Hey guys, what's up? So, I've been thinking about a topic for a while and it's been on my mind for a very long time. And I thought that today I'm going to share it with you. It might ruffle some feathers, I would say, but hear me out first. So, let's get started. All right, so it's kind of like confession time for me, guys. I used to binge watch true crimes on Netflix, on YouTube, podcasts, books, whatever, you name it. And I was there. I was one of those junkies, maybe like you, I don't know. And I used to watch that stuff and I enjoyed it, unfortunately, because I thought that it was kind of like a mix of shock, suspense, and as I said, unfortunately, also entertainment. And this is the part that I have an issue with, and I want to talk about it because I don't see it as an entertainment anymore, and I'm here to tell you why. So maybe you can understand my perspective and you shift your perspective as well. So, the first question that I asked myself as I felt like I don't want it anymore was the question that why am I enjoying it? Why does it feel so good to watch people going through something like this? And I'm not saying that I didn't have empathy. I guess that most of people who watch like true crime on podcasts or like YouTube, Netflix, whatever, they do have empathy for others, but at the same time, they're enjoying the show like while watching. And it didn't make sense to me because I asked myself, what if the tables were turned? What if it was my family who has been dissected for views, for clicks? And it kind of hit me. It was just so rough that I was like, oh my God, I don't want to watch it anymore. For example, as I was watching Jeffrey Dahmer, a documentary on Netflix, I asked myself, what if I had a brother who was gay and who was getting murdered by someone like Jeffrey? And I was like, oh my God, I cannot even breathe thinking about that. And I don't even have a brother, but it was very scary. It was a very scary and horrific thought that I had. So I started to think more about it. I start to analyze deeply, analyzing myself. Why am I watching this? Why do people watch that stuff? So I looked up to some, studies out there which suggested that whenever you're watching those stuff, whenever you keep watching those stuff, especially when you keep watching, exactly, when you keep watching true crimes on Netflix, whatever, you start to get numb. Like those stuff desensitize you. And I don't believe that good hearted people like us want to get desensitized toward humanity, toward people, and lose that sense of empathy. Because, I believe that empathy is the key to grow, to be better. And no matter in which field you are, I'm not only talking about the social interactions, I'm also talking about your work field. For example, you don't want to lose your empathy. And I believe that shows like that, shows on Netflix, true crimes, they kind of push us in that, like they push us in that direction, and they want us to feel numb toward people's pain. And the other thing is that the more you watch stuff like that, the more scared you get. Like you feel like the world is much more scarier than it actually is. You might, for example, double check your luck at 2 a.m., or you feel like every stranger is a serial killer and you're just scared the whole time. So it's not only about other people, it's also about you as an individual as well. So why are we doing that to us, to ourselves, right? And let's be real, I think that those stuff are just generally not really good. Like if we take out the part about how it feels to watch a documentary like that and we just put it away, we have to think about if it's right or wrong, like morally, especially for people who are believers. Like me myself, I do believe in God. I don't think that I can identify myself with a religion right now, at least. But there are a lot of people like me who believe that there is a higher power who tells us to do good, to be better, right? And I ask myself if God would approve that. And I don't think that it's the case here, because why should we watch something and be entertained but by people going through some unimaginable traumas, and I just don't want to be that person morally, you know what I mean? And I think that, as I said, for a lot of people who are religious, who are believers, maybe they need to reconsider why they watch stuff like that, and maybe replace their type of entertainment. You know what I mean? Because things which are happening in true crime documentaries, those people who have been murdered, those were real people. It's not about Squid Game, right? It's not about a plot twist. Those people were real, their pain was real, their families are real. So it's unimaginable to think that we keep feeding ourselves off of that, even if it's not our intention in the first place. But I guess that at some point you don't even realize it anymore, and you just keep watching as if it's a, it's a Netflix show. It's, as I said, it's like a Squid Game, and you think like, okay, next episode, next episode. It's not that we care about the victims in that moment. It's about us having fun, it's about us enjoying the thrill. And I think this is very, very problematic, to say the least, to be honest with you. And especially in these modern world, with the rise of social media, we are also making fun of it. We are making memes about it. And I'm all here for you for, dark comedy. I'm a huge fan of Louis C.K., Bill Burr, Ricky Gervais, all of those comedians who are doing dark comedy, and I love it. But I still think that there is a difference between who have been, traumatized, who have been murdered. It's different. Like, I've seen a lot of memes about Jeffrey Dahmer, for example, because it was like the recent one, I guess. And it was just heartbreaking for me to imagine that, what if I was one of the victims' family members, and I saw a meme about my brother, my father, whatever, whoever, getting murdered by a monster, and people are laughing at that. And as I said, I don't believe that people who make those memes are intended to make fun of that, to, make it ridiculous. But I do believe that it's a slow process. Like, it's getting people there without people even realizing it. And I think it's very, very dangerous. And maybe we need to kind of step back a little bit. It's like, the story of the frog and getting boiled. If you put a frog where the water is boiling, like, the frog would jump off. But if you put the frog in cold water and just boil the water slowly, it doesn't even recognize that he's getting boiled, right? And I think this is something that is happening to our morals, maybe, when we are watching it. And maybe, as I said 1,000 times by now, maybe we need to reconsider what we are watching and what we are consuming as entertainment. Because to me personally, I think that entertainment is not only about, having fun or having a good time. It's also about what you're feeding your soul with. And I know that a lot of people might say that I'm reading too much into it, but honestly, I don't think so. I just think that you should be really, really aware of how you're feeding your soul, what you're watching, what you're consuming, what you're listening to, which type of music, which type of movies, which type of books are you reading, right? And I believe that in today's society, we are so far away from us, from ourselves, from our souls, that we don't even recognize what we are doing. So maybe we need a little poke once in a while to just reconsider everything we are consuming. And as I said, there are a lot of better ways to be entertained. You can watch like scary movies. As I said, I'm a big thriller fan, so I watch those movies as well, but they're fictional, right? They're not based on a true story where you can see, for example, Chris Watts just killing his babies. Like, it's just scary to me that we are getting so numb to stuff like that. And I know that some people might argue that it's also very informative to watch those documentary, but I don't believe that's the purpose of those documentaries, especially if they're aired on platforms such as Netflix, Wow, HBO, whatever, you name it. I don't think that, because those platforms are mainly there to entertain you, and you choose what to watch, and you choose what is going to your soul, and you choose if you're going to go numb against those stuff or not. Because you know what? I'm not here to preach anything. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. Everyone's free to do whatever they want. But I believe that whenever we are watching something, maybe we need to ask ourselves, am I watching this because I deeply care, or am I watching this because I'm being entertained? And if it's the second, maybe we need to replace our taste of entertainment. So that was my part, that was my opinion. And as I said, please don't think that I want to put myself in a higher position. I've been there. I loved watching documentaries on, stuff like that. But after a while, I realized that it's kind of darkening my soul, and I didn't want to be there. And so I just stopped, watching it. I just desubscribed every YouTube channel that I watched on true crime documentaries about murderers. I think that was one of the best decisions that I've made lately about my YouTube feed. And also, please be understanding that I'm not here to kind of judge you or shame anyone. I've been there myself, but I thought that, you know what, this thought has been on my mind for a while, and I've been reflecting on it for a while. So I thought maybe there are also a lot of people who love stuff like that, and maybe they need a poke, maybe they need, a new perspective. I don't know. And I hope I could help. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you subscribe if you liked my content. I'm very lazy on this channel because I have two YouTube channels. One is in Persian and I'm more active on the other one, but I just realized that I need to switch a little bit. So I'd be glad if you support me on my journey and just subscribe to my channel. And let me know what you think about the whole theory of not watching any true crimes anymore. Thanks for watching, and God bless. Bye bye.